And while the tears keep flowing, yep, it's me again. They hate us. This is why they're on YouTube giving a fuck about us at the same time as always. I am your host, JD Miles. The MGTOWs, they love to hate. Even the ones who claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time as always, which is why these retarded fucks keep us relevant to this very day, and I'm back again. Y'all see the title of tonight's discussion. And yes, usually when I do news article videos, I usually do it alone. But I decided to team up with JR Wisdom here, and we'll shout out to him. Shout out to JR Wisdom. I'll put the link to the full video in the comment section. Go check him out. Especially when I noticed the news station that's talking about this article, WBRZ Channel 2, which is stationed in East Baton Rouge Parish, Louisiana. And for those of y'all who don't know, this news article is actually hitting close to home to me because for those of y'all who don't know, Uncle JD Miles was born and raised on the north side of East Baton Rouge Parish, Louisiana, before I moved to Colorado. And I know, and being that I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, this shit, I got to talk about it. But in this video, fellas, y'all going to understand why I constantly say simps are no better than the simps are no better than the incels. That's right, you heard me. The simps are no better than the incels. Both sides struggle to get women. The only difference is one side has that understanding that it's tough for them to get women, but the other side thinks kissing a woman's ass will change the perspective, and they still fall short. But I digress from that. But in this situation, I would rather name the title When Super Simping Goes Wrong. But enough of me babbling. Let's listen to the news article, and both me and JR Wisdom will come back with our take on it. Let's get down to business, shall we?
Authorities have now charged a second person in an apparent domestic dispute where they found another man execution style. According to arrest documents, the second person charged was the victim's former lover who ordered his killing. David Hamilton reports.
This picture of victim Anthony Wesley Jr. shows his love of family.
He was a great guy. Like I said, everyone loved him. It was nothing. It's not so much bad to say because you know how you say, you pray for a certain type of man and you finally get it. That's what it was.
East Baton Rouge Sheriff investigators arrested Riddick Franklin for shooting Wesley in the back on March 29th at the Jefferson Lakes Apartments. Then documents say Franklin stood over Wesley and fired several more times. For Harris, she says she'll never forget witnessing that scene.
Well, it happened in front of mine, our apartment. So, I was shocked. I'm traumatized. I still see the image, everything.
Investigators now allege that the shooter, Franklin, was romantically involved with Hope Jackson, the mother of victim Wesley's children, who they've now charged with second-degree murder as well. Court records show Wesley and Jackson were in the middle of a custody dispute. As part of that dispute, court was scheduled for next month. According to the affidavit now charging Jackson with second-degree murder, Jackson told Franklin multiple times she wanted Wesley killed because of a dispute involving child support. The affidavit alleges Jackson told Franklin, quote, "I want him OV," Authorities say OV is street slang for eliminating or killing someone.
It's shocking because, these are your kids' father. And why would you want to put the kids through that?
Harris mourns not only Wesley's death, but that this dispute escalated to such violence.
And Anthony could have talked it over and maybe, came to a conclusion or whatever it was that they had going on with the kid. Like, it didn't have to come to this. He didn't have to lose his life.
In addition to second-degree murder, the accused gunman Franklin faces charges of illegal use of a firearm, possession of a firearm, and obstruction of justice. Hope Jackson was booked in jail facing second-degree murder charges.
So before J.R. Whistle gets started, I'm going to go ahead and say this right here. I know that apartment complex, Jefferson Lake Apartments, which is on the south side of Jefferson Highway near Coursey Boulevard. So basically, the gunman Franklin, or shall I say the super simp Franklin, I believe one of his charges was being a convicted felon of a firearm, in which if I still remember my laws back in Louisiana, if you have a prior felony conviction and you are caught with a handgun, that's federal time along with the other charges you are facing. And what's more, all of this over a custody battle. What is with these women? And I'm not trying to be funny either, fellas. What is with these women murdering their baby daddies over child custody battles? What is this, the fourth one or the fifth one? And what's more, she didn't want to get her hands dirty, so she had her pussy whipped super simp to do the job for her. I swear to God, these simps will do anything for the box, even commit murder. Which is why Uncle JD says these simps are no better than the incels. So now, in the end, the super simp ended up is now locked up and can't even get the box anymore. And now the baby mama is locked up on second-degree murder charges. All because she wanted to be the mastermind in the murder of her baby daddy. And who's the ones who end up suffering in the end? The children. My condolences goes out to their kids. Their father was murdered all because their own mom decided that it'd be a great idea to let her simp of a boyfriend kill their father, and now she's serving time for second-degree murder. Oh, but we wrong for talking about this. Fuck you, bitch. We gonna talk about this shit. Ain't no fucking excuse. Ain't no fucking excuse in the world can cover for this. But I spoke my piece on the matter. Let's hear from J.R. Wisdom, shall we?
This is another case of, well, a few cases, right? But this is definitely another case of simping going wrong, guys. And this is Baton Rouge. Of all places, y'all know in Baton Rouge they don't play. You know what I'm saying? But this...
Nope, they don't fucking play at all. And take it from somebody that was born and raised in Baton Rouge. In fact, it's not just Baton Rouge either. Go to any part of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Shreveport, Alexandria, Monroe, New Orleans, Lafayette, Opelousas. They will tell you, down in Louisiana, they are crazy. They are crazy down there. And if you go down there trying to be a tough guy, there's a pretty good chance your face gonna be plastered all across the 10 o'clock news. And each and every day there's a murder. Trust me, they're not playing down there. And if you are going to Louisiana, my advice to you, unless you want to go partying, and which you need to be careful about that shit too, stay your ass indoors at the dark. Because at the dark, anything can happen. And don't be surprised. You're in Baton Rouge, and you hear gunshots. Oh, that's an every night occurrence. But I digress. Let's continue.
unfortunately happens to a lot of men. This is one of the reasons why we say you shouldn't date single moms, especially when the father is still in the picture and there is custody and she's talking about this. And obviously, this consumes the relationship. This is the first thing I want you guys to know about. And all the ladies out there be like, well, I got it under control. I don't want... Some dudes like, I'm only going to date a single mom if the baby daddy is dead or in jail. You know what I mean? In that case. But when you deal with the single mom and she has these issues, it's going to consume the relationship. That's all she's going to talk about. She's going to be angry, upset, mad, visitations, all this stuff like that. And it can mess up the whole day for her because it's any argument or she's watching him on social media or worrying about what he's doing in his personal life, so on and so forth. And this guy thought it was just a good idea because she's pressuring him. Probably, you know how women manipulate dudes, weak dudes like this, and say, "Well, let me go ahead and make this happen. Let me go ahead because she's making me feel like less than a man. Let me prove my love by smoking this dude." And
it's all part of that nigga take care of me. Pussy whip nigga come save me. And to be honest, this super simp was so pussy whipped. And we know. Yeah, I know for a fact that he did get some, and because he got some, he got so hooked. He was like a dog on a goddamn leash. He was so pussy whipped to the point to where he was more than willing to murder her baby daddy just to get back to that box again. Oh, but it doesn't stop there either. Because there are also cases where the super simp, well, that's what I call them, the super simp gets so pussy whipped that they try to pull that stunt and they be the ones ended up getting murdered. Yes, vice versa. And what has Uncle J.D. Miles always told everybody? These super simps, either they'll fuck their lives up, getting their asses locked up losing their freedom or end up being 6 feet underground pushing daisies all over a goddamn woman. No fucking joke neither. How many of these retarded fuck ass simps are dead or in jail right now over a woman? Meanwhile, those women they caping for, they already on to the next. They already on to the next man. All of that shit in vain. But this is what happens. But this is what happens when you got retarded fuck ass simps who think with their dick. They always find themselves in fucked up situations. Ass out. Bottom line. And the fact that she was able to manipulate that simp to do whatever she wanted him to do, that just shows you just how fucking weak these simps are. But I digress. Let's continue.
And unfortunately, she's still going to jail or prison too for, I don't even want to say orchestrating, man, because at the end of the day, you're a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? Like when they charge people for putting them up to it, I get it. But it's still like you're an adult. You have a sovereign will. For somebody to tell you to kill someone else and then you go and do it. I don't know. But fellas, this is another thing about when women deal with this could happen to any dude who has a scarcity mindset. When you get a woman to manipulate you, he falls in love with buns. She's probably putting that fire head on him while she's giving him the buns. She brings up, which is weird in itself, she's bringing up the other dude right after she got through topping you off, which is why she, like, if you think about it, why are we talking about this guy? Why is it that I'm in a relationship with a woman, right, that you have to deal with the kids going through all this stuff like that? I don't need that. I want a woman that has as little baggage as possible. If she does have kids, they have a good co-parenting situation, so on and so forth, right? But you're gonna go that far. It sounds like he was a felon, obviously, because he's getting hit with those charges: felon in possession of a firearm.
And what's worse, it's in Louisiana at that. And I already explained that. In Louisiana, if you have a felony conviction and you are arrested and caught with a handgun, you're serving time in the federal prison, along with the other charges you have if you're a convicted felon. And one thing about the laws out there in Louisiana, they ain't playing around. They ain't playing around out there. Damn sure ain't. But this is what happens when the super simp is too busy thinking with the head between his legs, not the head on his shoulders. He got hooked to the box, and now and now and now the super simp is doing her bidding, risking his life and his freedom over the box. Even to this day, I look at that as such retarded fuck ass behavior. I mean, if a woman is giving you that good treatment, but then she turns around and tells you that she wants you to do something that's gonna fuck your life up, you better say hell no. No pussy is worth fucking your life over, fellas. Period. Because by the end of the day, these super simps will always be replaceable. Now, I understand in this situation, she won't be able to go to the next man because because she's facing second-degree murder charges. So basically, she's getting punished alongside the super simp. But in other cases, they move on to the next dude. Off the gate. Let's continue.
I think that's what they said. And bro, you're gonna do probably 20 plus years at this point, and she's probably they're gonna hit her with like 10. Or hopefully they hit her with more, because I know Louisiana's kind of, they don't play in Louisiana. But
No, they don't.
Doing that. None of the kids, they losing both parents, all this stuff because she got upset about child support, which is the other thing that I want to talk about. Custody and child support. Women, and I've seen it firsthand, guys, personally, women will go to the extremes. They will hurt themselves and the children, definitely the children in the process, just to keep you away from the child that you helped create. And it,
in which of course, it baffles the shit out of me, because last time I checked, when it comes to custody and child support, Louisiana is super strict on that. I mean, if that was the case, all she had to do was take him to court. If that was the actual issue, and knowing how those courts are in Louisiana, they would have granted her that. No, instead, she wanted her super simp to take her baby daddy's life, and fucked up not just him but herself in the process, over something that would have easily been settled, especially knowing the laws in Louisiana. Child support, custody, that would have been settled. But no, she chose. They both were too fucking retarded, to the point to where they chose to throw their lives away over something that could have been settled. Let's continue.
this is for the good dads who don't cause any problems, who just want to see their kids, who aren't making a scene and seeing them every now and then. These are the dads who are really active or try to be active. These are the guys who get the most problems. But I think a lot of women just want to cause problems. Whether you want to be active in their life, she's going to make a problem. And if you're not active, she's going to complain about it. So women are just weird and chaotic when it comes to this. Jer, why do you have to make it about the women? Because this is what happens, bro. I say this to all y'all, and
it's no different. And it's no different when you got clowns on YouTube who wants to talk about all the issues of the men. And as Uncle JD stated, y'all wanted equality, y'all gonna get equality, whether you like it or not. And there's no one-way street. Equality goes both ways. But I'm gonna stop it right here. And this has been another episode when super simping goes wrong. These simps better learn quick. That box ain't worth fucking your life over. And why are they letting these women get in their heads, having them do shit that's gonna mess them up for life, and in the end bar them for the box for life. But nevertheless, that's all I got to say. Again, shout out to JR Wisdom. If you want to watch his video in its entirety, I'll leave the link to the full video in the comments section. Go check him out. Tell him JD Mouse sent you. But that's all I got for tonight. I'm done, and I'm out this bitch. Later.